So today's the 19th, walking to Peter Mac for my angiogram, or where they're going to put the central line under my skin into my heart so that I can extract the stem cells later on and also feed the chemotherapy into the port. So I'm not quite sure how I feel about having a line that goes straight to my heart with an exposed port, because I have to have it dressed once a week by a specialist nurse. So obviously that means it must be exposed somewhere in my chest. Got a few things to do today. See the social worker after the procedure, see if there's any luck, or give them permission to advocate for me. See if I can get any kind of temporary accommodation while I'm going through treatment. Otherwise, after today, I'll go back to my partner's and sister's place, stay the night, and then tomorrow I drive back to Runnymede to set up my van to make it a bit more practical and comfortable to live in, because I think ultimately I'll have to stay in the van, which is a little bit more convenient while I'm doing the chemo and the stem cell bone marrow transplant. So, like I said, I'm a little bit anxious about today because of the direct line, and obviously there'll be an exposed port which I have to keep protected. So yeah, start of a new day. Okay, so this is the permacath that they put in. So that's mainly for the to extract the stem cells, to get a good flow of stem cells from the blood, but also that they can use it to input more chemo or more drugs. So that was just done today, so my neck is a bit stiff, just with a local anaesthetic. They didn't sedate me because I told them I was taking the public transport home, so I did it all under local, so it wasn't too bad. It just feels a bit strange that I've got these things hanging out my chest, and it's what they call a permacath, so it can stay in for about up to a year, but it'll stay in me until I finish treatment. So basically it's just a line that goes into the vein, into my neck, towards the main vein to my heart, which also happens to be where my pacemaker is also going through the same point. So they just told me just to be mindful that they're pretty sure they didn't knock the leads on the pacemaker, but just to be mindful if I feel anything strange or start getting palpitations, to go to the hospital. But yeah, so it wasn't quite what I expected, because no one actually showed me what it was going to look like. I thought it was going to be a round thing under the skin, but I think that's a different type of line to the heart. But anyway, so this is my new body jewelry. And once a week I've got to get the dressing changed and the caps changed. So I've got to make a booking at Peter Mac and go back there, and a specialised nurse will change that for me. Yeah. Today's 7 p.m. on the 19th. I've been to Melbourne and had the procedure done for the permacath. Had an appointment with Trish, one of the nurses that deals with the stem cell transfusion side of things, and she explained a lot more about what goes on with that side of the treatment. And she explained to me that there'd be a lot of preparation in regards to I'll do a bit of physio to try to get my body strong before I start the stem cell extraction and transfusion. And also she's booking a psychologist because she said they need people to be well prepared for the treatment. So whether it means they need to build up on the physio, the strength, physical strength, and the mental strength, because she said that the treatment is quite strong, quite powerful, the chemo, and also the stem cell transfusion part, because basically they're going to do 3 cycles of extraction of stem cells, and during that just stem cell extraction as well, because I've got a second cycle of chemo coming up in a week, that I might need a blood transfusion to help build up my stem cells. So it'll be 3 cycles where I attempt to extract as much as I can to then freeze for later on. And then you said I'll do the PET scan, like I've said before, and if that's clear, then I'll go into the stem cell phase. If there's still some lymphoma left, I'll do another cycle of this chemo, which is another 3 days of the chemotherapy. But at this stage, I've only got 1 more to go, and then the PET scan will decide that either way. But she told me I need to start eating properly. I'll do a bit of physio, like I explained before. I'll have an appointment with a physiotherapist so I can try and strengthen my body in readiness for the actual transfusion. And I also speak to a psychologist, and I explained to her that I've already got PTSD, depression. It's something that I was told that's ingrained into me because it's a childhood trauma. But she said it'd be good to talk to someone anyway to help you prepare or guide you through this, because she said when you go through the actual process of spending 3 weeks in hospital as part of the stem cell cycle, I'm gonna feel very tired. Like, I probably won't feel like moving. I need someone to sort of feed me, basically, because I won't feel motivated to do anything. So it does sound like it's going to be a lot stronger than it was, or she said it will be a lot stronger than the chemo I've done before. So yeah, so it's like a little bit daunting because I'm still in the process with the help of the social worker from Peter Mac and also another social worker from CoHealth. They're trying to find me temporary accommodation, at least just for the stem cell side of things. That could be 4 to 6 weeks all up, I guess, because they still don't believe that I'll be able to cope living in a van going through this process on my own. So I guess they've had all the experience with other patients, and I've never done it before, I haven't been through it before. So I'm still trying to find somewhere to live temporarily during that treatment. I'm at my partner's sister's place at the moment, but I can't stay here because there's already 4 people living here, and also I think her father and brother are coming soon over from China to stay, so there won't be a lot of room. So yeah, so today I'm feeling a bit sore, obviously. Local anaesthetic only lasts about 4 hours. My neck feels a bit stiff, and I can feel the tube pulling. So I guess personally how I'm feeling is that I'm just going with the flow, basically. I'm now very wary that I've got something else going to my heart, which is just, the more things you have, I guess the more implants you have, the more higher the chance that something can go wrong. Because I'm not taking blood thinners anymore because I had this procedure coming. Because I was taking blood thinners and blood pressure tablets to sort of reduce the risk of having a stroke, because I've got atrial fibrillation where the top of the heart just doesn't synchronize properly when it's beating, so it just turns to jelly, and sometimes that can cause blood clots. So that's why I was on that medication. But the good news is I had bloods done this morning, and everything's gone back up. So my kidney function's gone back to normal almost. My white cell count's finally going up, but I've still got to do blood tests twice a week. So today's Wednesday. On Friday, I've got to do another blood test. I'm just going to sort out. I've got so many appointments coming up now. I've got to look at my calendar because I need to find a day or two where I could drive back to Runnymede, get my solar generator system so that I can put that in the van, so that even if I do have to spend a few weeks living in the van during treatment, I need to be able to power my devices, power my laptop, that kind of thing. So I just need to set up my van a bit better, just on the off chance that I can't find accommodation. I'm sure that side of things will work out. I have faith in God and faith in that things always work out, no matter how dark they seem. But yeah, so definitely a journey. But yeah, so that's the update.